Ladies and gentlemen, welcome all once again to Bully Girl Podcast. We are here on episode 11 with my man Haile Selassie. Haile, say what's up.
What's going on, everybody? Haile Selassie, HD Bullyz.
So we are here with HD Bullyz, but before we get into HD Bullyz, today's sponsor is Bully Girl mobile app. It is available on the Apple and Google Play Store, so make sure you download that app. You can see different breeders, different dogs, showcases, advice. It's all on the app. Make sure you don't miss out. Haile, what's good?
Man, I can't call it. I'm blessed. I'm here. I'm here with you. This is a great opportunity. Shout out to Bully Girl Magazine, man. Much
Shout out to
love, much
Bully Girl
respect.
Magazine.
You know
So,
what I mean?
real talk, when I saw that we were going to interview you, I got hyped because of how many covers you have. You know what I'm saying? You're on a few features.
Man, so it's been a long time coming. We've put in a lot of work. This is only a few, but this is a couple of the ones that we've been a part of. There's another one missing, and it's a special one. It's inside of a frame. Shout out to my boy, rest in peace, HD Bullyz grand champion, Yosemite Sam. That was the first magazine ever done with Bully Girl. I always be grateful and appreciative of Bully Girl Magazine and the opportunities they've given HD Bullyz. They've always shown us love from the beginning, and Yosemite Sam was the beginning of HD Bullyz. So we can't.
Shout out to Yosemite. Well, let's get into it, man. Talk to us. So you breed Frenchies. So what made you get into the breed?
So my wife, she was begging me for this dog, French Bulldog. And to be honest with you, I come from the bigger dogs, Rottweilers, German Shepherds, the American Bully. That's what I had. And she wanted, this small dog for her, understandably, but I didn't want to pay that amount of money for a dog with such a bad reputation. They were known for bad breathing, hip problems, spinal issues. I really didn't want to pay that kind of margin of money for a dog like that. But to make the wife happy and to make the home happy, I went ahead and I moved forward in getting her a dog.
So who was your first dog? What was that Frenchie you bought?
Sapphire. She was a Hungarian dog, Liegi line, Yosemite Sam's mother. I bought her as a pet. That was initially the goal, just to satisfy the wife. But I fell in love with the dog, man. I mean, the way that she was with my kids, and at the time they were babies. My son was just a newborn, and for her to come to us at over a year old, just as a pet again, but to attach to my son so well, that was the important part for me, because for HD Bullyz, it's about the family. That's what I'm about. So that's what the dog's got to be about. And the way that she attached instantly to a kid that she just met. She came from California, so she came from the West Coast to the East Coast to us. And instantly, was a part of our family. We went to shows, and she had fun. She liked to show. So we won some shows. And the owner, or the previous owner of that dog, loved what we were doing and wanted us to go ahead and move forward into potentially breeding the dog. That came with some rules, and we had to follow some certain studs and such.
Yeah.
So we did so. And in that, we produced Yosemite Sam. And from that time forward, that's where the passion of the French Bulldog really took over in me. I never had such an attachment to a dog in my life, and I never thought I would. I grew up with dogs all my life, so dogs, I love them. They're part of the family, but dogs are dogs. I let them be dogs. But this was the first time I had a dog really take over and be a part of my life and go everywhere and take me outside of my area of comfort.
Of course. So from the moment you got the first dog until you actually started getting into the breeding point, what was that gap? What was that time in between?
So we're looking at late 2009 to about, I'd say late 2010, early 2011, I'd say maybe.
Okay. That's what's up. So
in that time, it's a year and a half that I'm just enjoying the breed. Spending time with the dog. I'm taking the dog everywhere with me, to the beach, to work, just everywhere.
So talk to me about your experience as a breeder. How's that been going for you?
Breeding, if we're going to be honest, it has its ups and downs.
I'm glad you're being real. I'm glad I eat this up. Go ahead.
It's passion that continues to drive us here at HD Bullyz, because I'll be honest, it's some days that you definitely hit hard ones and you want to throw it in. The loss of Yosemite Sam, that makes me want to throw in the towel. I promise. I was there. I had that moment where I didn't want to do it anymore. But the dogs and the passion for the dogs, it kept me pushing. I had a dog, and I still have her to this day. She's a 7-year-old French bulldog named I Heart Sam. And at the time, she was a puppy, and Yosemite Sam had just passed, and I'm like, man, I'm done with these dogs, and I didn't want anything to do with the dogs. And she was a baby, and she just like kept tucking under me, and she kept like consoling me. I mean, that's what I felt. And so I'm like, yo, this is different. This is here again another dog that's still in my heart when I don't even want to give it up no more. You
You had
know,
a wall up. You weren't even trying to mess with it. Yeah.
Right, right. But she didn't let that happen. So I believe wholeheartedly that the French Bulldog breed it's I love all dogs, so let's not
Of course.
separate. But when it comes to the French Bulldogs, out of all the breeds I've owned, and I've owned quite a few, this breed is special. This breed touches the hearts of many. And I know that through the experience of being a breeder, through selling to a lot of pet homes. That's kind of HD Bully's specialty. We're not, real known for selling to a lot of breeders. Not that we have a problem with doing so. It just, the pet homes, they come to us. We're known in our community for great pet dogs. Not that they're pet quality, they are every bit of show quality and deserve the highlights.
Of
But
course.
they go to great homes where they are highlighted in their own areas. So a lot of people don't get to experience those dogs, but they're experiencing their own life where they're at, and they're appreciated in the lives that they live.
I'm glad you brought that up too, because I've met a lot of breeders, and folks are in it for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? Some folks are in it for money, some folks are in it for shows and titles. And the fact that you are just so blunt about your dog is great when it's in a family environment that you sell as a pet. I think that's pretty dope. Because you got some cool ass dogs.
I appreciate it, man. I mean, it wasn't something that I shot after. Again, I just wanted to do this dog thing for me, for my family.
Yeah.
This was just something that happened. And to me, I believe in, that the thing they call God's plan. No one can stop that. So I didn't push for this. I continue to put the work in, but I didn't like seek after or have an intent to be the biggest breeder. My intention was to enjoy doing what I love. And I think it shows. Here we are years later, and again, like I said, and I don't have a problem with stating that we're not the most popular. However, I never did it for that. So to be here, and we're 10 plus years in. I started in 2010 HD Bullies as a French Bulldog breeder, owner, advocate, and shower. And here we are, 2023, and I'm still loving it, man. And I'm telling you, I've hit ups and downs as well. We've lost some great dogs, um, but we've produced some phenomenal ones as well.
I'll tell you though, like, and I love to see that passion out of you too, because a lot of people that do breed, we kind of get out of that custom that dogs are family members too. You know what I'm saying? So uh, whenever we lose one, it hits hard. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't easy. It ain't easy.
At
So let
all.
me let me let me ask you this, right? You had something on here that I had never heard of, right? I've heard of and maybe I'm just overreading. I've heard of having a raw diet, but you have a raw barf diet. So tell me, you got to educate me on what a barf diet is.
So ultimately, the barf diet consists of a blend, and shout out to my supplier on that, and I can't take the full credit for it. I add to what I get a strong foundation of, and I get a strong foundation of a barf diet from my supplier, which is a butcher. And a lot of people don't have access to that. So it's a little bit different. Some people are getting raw diets and they're getting it still from, your Petco's and your Pet Smarts, and those are great, but they're still manufactured. I'm getting mine directly raw and uncut from the source. So it's raw meat. It's a blend of different meats. I can get them different ways. Um, so we do the chicken, beef, and Venice, and I get it from my supplier, as I stated. I add a couple of things to it, And
What do you
the
add to it?
So some vegetables, salmon oil is definitely one I'll give you guys because I think that that's important for the French bulldogs anyway that I found. I started adding salmon oil to my dog food, and I noticed not just a difference in their coat, but a difference in the puppies. The amount of puppies I was getting, um, I'd say more lactation in the mom, more milk. For me, the salmon oil was a huge one. So I'll give you guys that, Jim.
That's the one secret sauce you're gonna give us, salmon oil.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I appreciate that. So what makes your Frenchies bully, different than everybody else's? Let's say me, I'm a buyer, right? I'm a buyer. I'm looking for a good quality French bulldog, right? You are a reputable name. What makes you different than every other breeder out there?
Again, we started a long time ago before French Bulldogs were even popular. And they were popular in their own area, but they weren't the number one breed. Shout out to the French Bulldogs because we made it. We the number one, baby. So again, being a part of that makes my hair stand up. There was a time where a lot of
Pioneer.
people didn't want to be a part of French Bulldogs. They were ugly and they were this, and I get it. And we again we're a part of the growth to where now we number one. So for me, just falling in love with that whole process, we built a different style of dog, and everybody has their own style. But for us, we like more of the bullier French bulldog. So for us, we want the healthy dog, but we want the bone, we want the big head, we want the thick cheeks, we want the thick girthy body, we want the compactness. But we also want the temperament. So that's kind of where I think HD Bullies is a
Temperamental.
little bit different is health, temperament, and then the structure of the dog is key. And I'm not willing to substitute any of those to add the other things. We love color, and we'll get more into that as we continue to grow because I have no plans on going anywhere. Uh, with that, we just want to continue to make healthy dogs, but they gotta have those three things: health, structure, and that good old girth.
So let me ask you this. Walk me through the process of me as a buyer. Right. What would I have to do to qualify? Because with dogs of your quality, I'm sure I'd have to qualify as a buyer. You don't just sell your dogs to everybody.
Correct. It's not just about the price. Obviously, we all know every dog's gonna have a price tag on it, but it's
Sure.
also about do you have the time? Are you willing to give the time to our dogs?
Super
Because they
important.
come from a home where they are given time. We schedule our time around the dogs. Again, this is a family-based thing. I don't even like to call it a kennel because it's not about that. These dogs aren't kenneled. They're a part of our family. So my kids are involved, my wife is involved. We rotate schedules. Um, I'm not really so much the one that does the coddling. Um, I do the shit cleaning. I do the hard stuff, the stuff that people don't see. I take them to the vet. I'm doing the breedings. I'm doing some whelping along as well as my wife. She does a lot of the whelping. But when it comes to the dogs, as far as spending the quality time and the cuddling and the watching TV and sitting down, my kids, my wife do that. And that's important as well because when you come to us, you're getting a pre-spoiled puppy already. They already are used to that. So moving forward, for that puppy to be comfortable, I need for you to have some time. I mean, you're buying a dog from us. You gotta have the time for the dog.
I appreciate that too because you're right. Sometimes folks will buy dogs, they don't have time for them. You see them all the time where they want to give the dog up or they want to, sell the dog and give it back to the breeder. When dogs are already used to a certain atmosphere and a certain environment, and when you're looking for a French bulldog, there's a certain temperament that comes with the dog. So if they're already spoiled and they're used to that human interaction and the way that they are, it's our jobs as owners to kind of keep up with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I like that too because you don't just let anybody come up and buy one of your dogs.
We strive hard to find the best homes that we can. That's number one for us. And again, that's I think why we're number one in selling pet dogs, pet homes. I don't have a problem with selling or placing a puppy to a pet home ever because they're lined up and they're waiting. We have many people waiting to get dogs from us just to love them and spend that quality time with them because they know that they're going to get that back. It's again, it's not just about the dollar. You're getting something that's going to bring you joy for years, and as long as you do your part in caring for it, loving it, obviously feeding it, taking it to the vet if necessary. Um, I promise you, you'll have years of happiness with our dogs.
So let me ask you this before we get into who's sitting on your lap and who else you got in the room floating around with you. I've noticed you got that T-shirt on you. I love that shirt. So I want you to kind of break down what you got on that shirt. What is that? Obviously, to the naked eye, we could all tell there's a dog on there, but there's a history behind that, right?
Yes, sir. So it's to connect the dots. It's something simple when you think about it. It's something that we all, I think, can connect to. Growing up as kids, we all did one of these at some point in time. And it's just simple. You follow it from one to whatever the ending number is, and it gets you the full picture. So the full picture here today, we have a French Bulldog. We've created many breeds now in this shirt, um, but ultimately, all of us is one of these dots. And when you bring us together as a community, that's the bigger picture. That's the full dog. That's the full French Bulldog. And I think we've lost sight as a community of togetherness, of coming together and what this is all about. We all love the breed. We all got to come together and push the breed. So I made something that involved all of us. Yeah, it's got, HD Bullyz always. And here we have the puzzle piece that says, have you been connected? So again, there's a lot involved going on in here. Have you been connected as far as are you supporting each other? Are you a part of this movement? This is now a movement. This puzzle piece is the autism awareness, just to kind of go off of that a little bit. And it's just to bring awareness to the fact that that's another part of our breed. I work with mental health. And for our breed, I've
I was
taken
just
our
going to
French
ask you that. I'm glad you
bulldogs.
opened that up. Go ahead.
I've taken it to work. I've taken our breed to work and I've watched our breed work. That's where our breed works. Our breed works in caring for people. Our breed works in feeling what people may be lacking or missing. And it might just be, that love, the reminder of, hey, here for you. And they do that every day. I've watched it. So again, for me, that's where it brings more of the passion into it. I'm willing to give it all for the breed because the breed is doing it for me and for others. Again, through selling the dogs to people, I've met people who have served, and shout out to those who have served because again, that's a part of our world, and that's a part of how we thrive, and they're giving back to those situations and those in need. So again, I'm in love with this breed, and
Yo, I love the dog. I love the message. I love the shirt. I love your brand. I love everything you're bringing, the awareness that you're bringing to the breed. Amazing. So let's take it a step further. What advice would you give to a new breeder with all the experience that you have?
Uh, stay focused. A lot of, especially now, we have access to the internet and the new so easily,
Everything at
so
your
readily,
fingertips.
easy. It's so easily accessible, but I think that makes us lose sight of the vision, the initial reason why we do things. And everybody has their own goals. So I would just say stay true to that goal, whatever that is, the thing that drives you and makes you passionate about why you started doing this thing. Whatever that thing is, the breeding, the dogs, showing dogs, everybody has a different goal. For me, it started out as I just wanted to get my dogs off the couch. I always had dogs. But I didn't think it was right to just have the dogs in the house, so I walk them outside of my community. But then they're only seen in my little community. The world is so much bigger than that. And I think even us as people, we get comfortable just in our place, and there's nothing wrong with that, but the world is so much bigger than that. And for me, I'm cool with being kind of like a little complacent and just dropping an anchor, staying still.
Sure, yeah.
These dogs get me out, and they made me realize, oh shoot, there's so much more to the world, and I'm able to teach my children that. So again, this is bigger than a dog. Like they have taught me things that I mean are life lessons. So I owe it to them to highlight them. And again, for everyone else that's experienced it, they deserve the highlight. That's why they're number one. They're not just number one because people are spending the money. Why do people want to be a part of this breed so much? Just to own this breed. And it's because they're
Okay, so
special.
let's talk about it then. Let's talk about who you got there on your left.
So right here
If
we
we're gonna
got
highlight, let's highlight then. Who we got?
HD Bullyz pressure. This is this is
Pressure.
this is this is the this has been the focus for HD Bullyz for the past 3 going on 4 years. He'll be 4 years old this year. He was produced here at HD Bullyz. He was not produced to be a show dog by any means. He was produced personally for me. As you can see here, I'm sitting on some brown and tan, and that's kind of like I like that color in my house.
That
And
theme,
so
yeah.
we have a lot of red fawn standard dogs. We never had a lot of color dogs. But I'm like, man, it'd be nice to have this little like brown and tan thing walking around the house as an accent in the house. Like, so I worked for 3 years to produce this dog. And he's just personal. He was just for me. It wasn't about honestly sharing him with the community. It wasn't about producing more puppies from him. It wasn't about any of that. I just wanted a nice dog in my house. I had no plans on showing him. But the way that the community gravitated to this dog, he was special to us, but then he became special to the community. Pressure became a name. So now we have Pressure Nation. People were shooting after having these attributes. The way that his color is so vibrant and the patterning, that's called a maskless tri dog. So he's maskless chocolate tri. So how clear those points are, that has to do with the DNA behind this dog. At the time, I was not focused on, I didn't know that this would be so relevant today. It was just following my passion and love for what I like, and I wanted to build on that. So I wanted to take Yosemite Sam and try and make him a color dog. And here we have today Pressure, the first dog to start this thing called Pressure Nation. And now all over the world, we got a Pressure somewhere around this world. There's a Pressure, and he or she is applying pressure.
That's a beautiful dog, bro.
Thank
And
you.
I absolutely love the story behind Pressure too. And it's crazy because Pressure just sit there, don't move. As long as you give him Pressure love, Pressure's.
That's it, man. This is it. He's gone around. Last year, we spent the entire year touring. That's what we called it. We called it Tour 2022, and we just wanted to hit a show once a month at least, just to let the people see the dog, put the hands on the dog, and it became instantly from January moving forward. Are you going to show him? Or are you going to show him? And I didn't want to show him, but I felt like that's what the people wanted. And to me, you got to give the people what they want sometimes. So we put the boy in the ring. And from January, I don't recall the exact date of last year, 2022, every month moving forward, we showed this dog. He lost one time.
Wow.
So for me, there's something special about that. And I
Of
did not
course.
create this dog for the show. Does the dog have flaws? Every dog got flaws. So, I mean, again, didn't create the dog for the show, but obviously he can hold his own. And to me, that meant a lot because that's the people again. That's the voice of the people letting me know that, hey, HD, hey, Hiley, keep going with that. Keep pushing with that. So we created Pressure Nation. We opened them up to the public. Now we have people who are also representing Pressure Nation. And not that they're a part of a kennel or a camp called Pressure Nation. They are just a part of a movement now. They're part of HD Bullyz, but with their own brand, their own thing. Whoever they are, they can shout their camp out in front of that, but they're screaming out Pressure Nation because they believe in what pressure can do.
So let's move on from Pressure because you're working on some other things too. We gotta,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
new hop movement. The new hop movement is AKA the fluffy. You know what I mean? You jumped into the fluffy
yeah.
French bulldog yet?
Man, so that story kind of behind that, with the fluffy French bulldog, I'll be honest. Um, with me, it's about quality first.
True.
So I saw the fluffies about 6 years ago, I want to say, and I wanted to invest in it. But the quality was it was hard. So to spend the type of money they were asking for the dog, it just I didn't see it being worth the investment. And I work hard for my money. So for me, I didn't think I'd ever jump into it, at least not yet. But a dog caught my eyes.
Uh-oh.
Um, no big name. It was just a friend of mine that I saw did a breeding. And I believe in that. So again, these are little gems I want to give you guys. Support your friends. Support your people, especially if they got something you like. I didn't go to him and say, "Hey, can I get a discount?" He had something I liked. I asked if I could be a part of that journey. And so he allowed me the opportunity to invest with him. And I bought a female from him. And I about a year and a half later, obviously, as we all can't wait for, that female came in heat. And we were able to produce our first visual fluffy French bulldog.
Do we have a fluffy French bulldog in the room that you could show?
All right, so before I bring this boy out, I just want to let y'all know that again, for HD Bullies, when I talk about things, when I put the visual to it for you all to see, it's because I believe in it. And I believe in this boy. I believe that he can bring a lot to the fluffy community. Um, he has the personality for me, which is key. The structure is A1. Um, and he's fluffy. So here we have HD Bullies, Mud Baby, the first fluffy French bulldog here at HD Bullies.
Wow. Yo, I kind of feel honored. I'm the first one to get a glimpse.
So he's been to 2 shows, but he has yet to be videoed on a podcast, anything of that such. So honestly, for me, it's an honor to be able to highlight this dog because right now, again, we 2023 and we're still touring, by the way. So it's tour 2023 now. But now we touring with Mud Baby. Pressure is joining. He always gonna be by our side.
Pressure's a staple. Pressure's
It's
there regardless. Yeah,
Pressure Nation is always going to be Pressure Nation. And unfortunately, Mud Baby is not a part of Pressure Nation because he does not have the pressure blood within his bloodline. But Mud Baby is the first fluffy dog here at HD Bullies. And I'm telling you guys, he is going to stamp his name in the game. I promise you that. With the amount of substance and bone that this puppy presents at 5 months old, I mean, I'm in love.
it's a beautiful dog.
Thank
It's
you.
a beautiful. That's a stunning dog.
And the color, again, it's not no fancy color, but it's unique. So when I
Yeah.
saw him, I'm like, man. And with Pied, they say no Pied, no Pied, no Pied. I don't understand it. I think it's because it's risky. Pied is flashy, so it's
Sure.
risky. And again, I'm gonna take the risk on this dog. Yeah, he's flashy, but he's amazing.
He is an amazing dog.
Thank you.
Absolutely stunning.
Thank
I know
you.
you got another dog in there. I think it's another movement that HD Bullies is pushing to. You want to talk to me about that a little bit?
So HD Bullies has branched. We have a few branches, but we've launched Pug Penthouse last year. Pug Penthouse is obviously first keyword is pug. So I bought my wife backstory a pug for Valentine's Day since again she wanted the French bulldog, so why not? I saw a pug, a pink pug. So we were the first to import a pink pug into the United States. So again, just to give a little backstory behind HD Bullies and how Pug Penthouse got created, we have pink pugs, and then now we have fluffy pugs. Since fluffies became a movement with the fluffy French bulldog, there's a fluffy English bulldog. There's a lot of fluffy things going on. So we Pug Penthouse decided that again, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it. And so this is generation 3 of Pug Penthouse. This is not our first fluffy pug that we've produced. This is not at all our first, and it won't be our last. But here we have Soul Glow.
So Glow,
Soul Glow.
the fluffy pug.
Fluffy pug. We produced a dog named Wavy Baby. We toured last year. We took her around. Wavy Baby's gotten a lot of love. So, infamous Wavy Baby. A lot of people have seen that dog. But now we got Soul Glow, the next generation to push it forward for Pug Penthouse.
So let me ask you this, right? Because obviously the pug is different, right? How's the temperament for the fluffy pug?
So
Is it similar
it's
than what
just
you got with the Frenchies? Same thing?
so it's just like a regular pug. But the temperaments are a little different. To me, the pugs are a little more witty, intellectual. Not that the French Bulldog is a dumb dog; they're genius. However, they are different breed, different purpose. With these guys, I've learned that they are so smart. So they keep you on your toes, man. And with me, it was great for the kids. Um, they're great, phenomenal breathers. So these guys will run all day long and never get tired. They're natural whelpers. Again, I've talked about this and I'll continue to talk about how I literally watch these dogs give birth and wag their tail and give birth and wag their tail. It was amazing because I mean birth is nothing easy. And it's amazing, and I think we lose sight of that every time these dogs produce puppies for us. It's an amazing thing. So to watch them like still like kind of smiling about it, like ha puppy, it was like, all right, I don't feel so bad. Like, I don't worry. They're tough. They're tough, and that's what I like about them. Health is number one for us. So if you can give me a healthy dog and it's smart and it's great with the family, I'm kind of all in. And then they're small too. I come from big dogs growing up. We've had Rottweilers, German Shepherds, American Bullies, Old English Bulldogs, English, sorry, Pit Bull Terriers. I've had a lot of the bigger breeds, the bigger, bullier breeds. But I'm in love with these small dogs now, thanks to the wife.
So tell me one thing, right? In the bully breed game, right? What do you think are some obstacles that breeders have to face?
Um, so we definitely, I mean, the stigmas as far as just the fact that what some of the stuff may be represented with a lot of the cropped ear breeds, so the pit bulls, the American bully, and I'm just talking about our bully community, the
Sure,
shorty
sure,
bull.
yeah.
There's stigmas behind that. People see the cropped ears and they think, oh, that's a like a fighting dog. Just trying to overcome that, and I've watched us do great at doing it. I mean, going back from 2007, where I went to my very first American Bully show till now, I mean, our career all over. I mean, we global. So it's a great feeling to be a part of the growth in that. And I don't want us to lose sight of that because it's important. We're being watched.
So tell me
And
tell
so
me about that growth, right? Tell me what contributions you think HD bullies have given to the bully community.
I mean, we're family oriented. So we come with nothing but positive vibes. Like it's all love with us. At least we try to be. You can't always be, unfortunately. I got kids to protect out here too. So again, we've met, our ups and downs in the community, but we've met some great people and we're gapping those bridges and we're connecting the dots. Again, that's what we're talking about here, connecting the dots. And one of those was, Bully Girl magazine. We're great supporters of Bully Girl, not because they're just a magazine, but they're a household name and great people. So it was connecting with great people that are pushing the product the way that obviously we want to see it pushed. But it's easy to connect with great people. It's easy to work with great people when you know that they're honest and they're passionate about what they're doing. So it was cool to find like, Bully Girl magazine was one of them. And we're able to now build a relationship of some sort because we trust Bully Girl magazine. And they put in the work. They've been around as long as HT Bullies, if not longer. I know my first show, I've seen Bully Girl magazine. I know I've seen them out there. So again, I can trust that. I can believe in that when you're around for so long and you're still passionate about what you're doing.
And I appreciate your transparency, your honesty. I appreciate you showing me all the dogs you got in front of you today that you showcasing. But most out of everything we've talked about today, I love your messaging. In our community, it's important to remain positive. And the fact that your shirt stands for that much about connecting the community, connecting dogs to families, and that whole background that you bring, I will tell you, Bully Girl is tremendously grateful to have you on the show today.
Now, I appreciate the opportunity to spotlight and highlight what it is we do and what this is about. It's because of these opportunities, and I think that's what we need to take the opportunity to use this for. So I use my voice to speak on the truth, and the truth is that I mean this breed has saved my life and saved the lives of many others. And so for me, I'm going to continue to push these breeds, the French Bulldogs, and now the newest thing to HD Bullies, pugs. And anything that represents that, the love and the passion of the community. And again, with the autism awareness thing, I've watched the love that community has for our French Bulldog breed. Look at how many people have these dogs as emotional support dogs. It's a statement. It's not just my experience. It's the experience of others. So
Mhm.
that becomes the truth. The truth is that these dogs feel. These dogs are loving. The pugs. People say they're so hyper and energetic. I have a little 10-week-old puppy in my hand that I'm not forcing this
Chilling.
puppy to stay here with me.
He's
She's
chilling.
just hanging out. She's feeling the vibe. She's safe. She's used to this as well. And not because of me, I can't take that credit. My kids sit on this same couch and they just love on them. My wife sits here, falls asleep watching a movie or something, loving on them. And again, that's the separation between HD Bullies and a lot of others. I couldn't do it without my team.
So you're just gonna drop the mic and walk off.
I mean, just a little something, something. Again, I appreciate this opportunity. And,
Well, I hope it won't be the last one. I'll tell you that. So
man, anytime.
before we leave, let me ask you, what does YOLO mean to you?
You only So again, I said this in the beginning of my. I think this was my first interview. I think it
I know
was.
that's why I brought it back up.
And so this is crazy. That's crazy. You caught me. I was about to. So you only live once, man. And for me, look, my hair's standing up. I swear, I still believe it. Like, I mean, I'm grateful for this life I live. And it wasn't easy. We all have our trials and tribulations that we have to
Sure.
overcome. And it was a blessing to get the opportunity to do what I do, to get the dogs that I have in my possession. And again, I believe in God's plan. So this is a part of a plan, and I'm running hard with it. And sometimes, life will throw us things to try to get us off track. But I so much believe in this that I try to push those things aside and still show up for these dogs, show up for the community. It's not easy. It's not easy as a breeder. So to those that are watching from the outside, and I explain this to my clients that I've built relationships with that I call family now. Forgive me if I'm not always available. I'm trying to spread myself everywhere. The dogs, the family, the job, as a breeder, it's not easy, especially when you're passionate like we are about these dogs. So we're not always as accessible as we like to be. I'm only one person, but I got a team. So if you can't get a hold of me, you can contact my wife. My contacts are out there. Right now, if you want to follow us, HD Bullies on all
Okay.
platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Haile Selassie. Uh, Tap in with us, man. We something different. We something special. We've been around for a while now. We a household name. If you don't know about us, get to know us.
Well, if you don't know now, you know. HD Bullies in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for tuning in to Bully Girl Magazine Podcast, episode 11 with Haile Selassie from HD Bullies. We appreciate you coming on the show today. And don't forget to download the Bully Girl mobile app. Once again, it is available on the Google Play Store and Apple. All your
Man, I
snuff
appreciate
wants.
y'all. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Bully Girl Magazine, Bully Girl Podcast. Don't forget to download the app, man.
And that'll be it. That's us for today. Thanks for tuning in again. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. And